What is up, YouTube? Introvert Gaming here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for my videos today. Today we're going to be covering my thoughts, opinions, and feelings on the current state of the game. Kind of like a discussion video talking about the new patches that are going to come into play, travel mode being removed, card stats, scaling, stuff like that. Which is pretty new for the channel, but I think I'm going to be doing this once or twice a month just to get my thoughts out there. So with that being said, guys, let's just get right into the video. The first thing we're going to target is card stats and scaling. Okay, they took the baseline damage from attack damage cards from 7.5 to 6.5 and attack speed from 6.5 to 5.5. I think this definitely affected Rangers more than any of the other classes. Fighters too, but I think this helped fighters in my opinion. Rangers are now much more squishy towards the beginning of the game, which is good. And with that, they reduced their base health from 400 to 380. Which is, I think it's good because pre-29 patch, carries definitely ran the game. Especially Wind Blast, as I like to call him. You can call him Twin Blast, but I like to call him Wind Blast, okay? He was a serious problem, and he was definitely out of hand, and I'm glad that they brought him back in line. In version 29 patch, they targeted him and Rampage quite a bit. They reduced his escape, which was definitely necessary because with Wind Blast's escape and slow, he was almost impossible to kill. And not only that, but his scaling with attack speed was godlike. Okay, they needed to bring that back a little bit. So with that being said, I'm glad they did that. They definitely went towards carries in this patch. And also, they went towards casters. Casters, in my opinion, are in a pretty good spot. Better than what they were in. But I still think they need scaling for their abilities more than scaling for their basic attacks. And this patch, if you guys didn't know, they increased basic attack damage from just their auto attack, which is good for last hitting and catching up to everybody else. But they need to do something else regarding their abilities and their scaling with their abilities, because right now it's not a good spot. They're still not as big of a presence as people want them to be. That's very clear and evident because you can look on the forums and online and see that they still aren't up to par with carries and fighters. And with this new meta, fighters have been stronger than ever. I mean, Chimera got a huge buff this last patch. Grux and even Rampage and Feng Mao are all extremely strong in this patch. And I think that's due to the fact that carries got a big hit early game, and attack speed and damage scaling got reduced. So yeah, those are my thoughts on scaling with cards and stuff like that. Let's get into another big issue of mine with this patch, and that is match length. So match length, they're trying to get 30 to 35 minutes, right? But that's not the case. With the death ball mechanic that's going on right now, and the inhibitor mechanic that's tied into it, when you lose your first inhibitor, right, your team automatically turtles up, right? And there is no real, in my opinion, there's no real comeback mechanic. When they take your inhibitor, chances are they're ahead of you in card points, and they're ahead of you in levels, or if not, pretty even. But you have to turtle up, and not only that, but super minions are coming your way. And with the new patches that have came out in the past, super minions are a serious threat. And you have to automatically put 1 to 2 people on super minion duty alone. So with that, you have the other 4 to 3 people guarding your core because it's exposed, right? And this is a problem for me, because this is drawing out match length significantly. Not only that, but if you successfully wipe their team or kill 2 to 3 of their team, the enemy team, and you take Prime, you're stacking another, you're locking in another 10 to 15 minutes on top of this already long match that's going on. And I've encountered this, guys, like you, I'm sure, so many times. And this is a serious problem to me, and this needs to be addressed. It's the match times are not good, and with that just comes stale matches. I think with the new patch, for everybody to hit their final potential, and with the new card scaling, it takes a good 30 minutes for carries to finally come online now. And then that's when teams finally start fighting. But as I said, when someone takes an inhibitor, you're automatically turtling up, and it's hard for your team to come back. So you're sitting at a stall. This is a problem for me, because you're hitting hour-long matches, hour-and-a-half long matches. This shouldn't be happening. But to get into that, a good thing that's coming out in patch, I'm hoping in patch 30, with open beta that comes out on the 16th, which is next Tuesday. People may say that taking out travel mode is bad. It's reducing your running, it's reducing the time to get to your towers, it's reducing, it's gonna add on the match length, right? That's what everyone's saying, and that's what everyone's freaking out about. But what people don't realize is, when you die at your tower and you're 20 minutes into the game and you already have a 40-second cooldown timer to respawn, you're gonna lose that tower, right? Another example, if you back and you go back to your base and buy points, it's gonna take you that much longer to get to your tower, which is going to result in you losing that tower unless you have a teammate running to that tower. It's gonna be, what I'm trying to get at here, guys, is it's gonna be a lot more strategic. It's gonna be a lot more punishing towards bad plays, because yeah, you're gonna get a portal stone. I think that's what it's called, a portal stone, to where you can teleport to your allied tower or structure. But that's going to be on a cooldown of 80 seconds, I think, to what I've read. You're going to have to play a lot more defensively. You're going to have to play a lot smarter, and if you don't, you're going to get penalized for it. The enemy team is going to take advantage of the longer walk time towards where you need to get to. It's going to make ganking more effective. It's going to make team fights more effective, and it's going to take... I think, all in all, I think that's what this game needs right now, is the removal of travel. They need to fix the hour-long matches that have been going on right now. It's making the game very unenjoyable, and it's making the game very long and stale. And there's nothing more frustrating than when you have an hour-long match and you lose that match. So another subject that I'd like to talk about that's going to be coming towards the end of this video is a tutorial mode, a tutorial map, guides, and stuff like that. And this kind of ties into the rank system right now and the matchmaking system, which I think is not a very good place. You need to be matched with teammates that are more suited to your playstyle or your level of play. I've seen on the forums and online, and even a couple games myself, where I'm platinum right now. I'm probably lower platinum, where I've been paired with silvers that don't know what they're doing, and this is a problem to me, because one bad egg in this game can screw the entire game. For example, today, I was playing a match as, I believe it was Greystone, and we had a Gideon in our match who fed the match and he fed the enemy team pretty much, and he died about 9 times. And not only that, but as we were losing an inhibitor, he refused to surrender the match. Now this is a big problem for me because players need to understand that when you feed like that and the enemy team is so far ahead of you and there's no real comeback mechanic yet, you're just going to drag the match on, and you know that we've lost the match. You cannot come back from a team that's ahead of you 20 card points and they're 3 or 4 levels ahead of you. That's a loss, and people need to understand that you're ruining the experience for your other teammates when you know you've lost. Guys, just put your pride aside for a second and understand that when you fed the team and you know you're going to lose and you're down towers, please surrender the match. And this is a problem for me because we need to have a tutorial mode in the game to let people know what stages of the game you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to group up, when you're supposed to team fight, what your role is as a hero, caster, tank, fighter, carry, support, stuff like that. People don't understand that. And with open beta coming out on the 16th, that really scares me because it's going to be free for everybody, which is amazing. I'm not against it at all. But with the current matchmaking system right now, for higher level players like gold, platinum, and diamond to be paired up with people that don't know what they're doing, which isn't bad, guys. I'm not against new players, but they need to have a tutorial mode implemented in this game fast. I'm hoping they have something, at least some kind of guide or tutorial for new players, because there's going to be a huge new player pool, and it's going to ruin the experience for a lot of people if they don't know what they're doing. You have people that are coming from consoles that have never played a MOBA before and don't understand the mechanics of their hero and what they're supposed to be doing. It's going to cause a serious problem, guys. A serious problem. So with that, guys, let's get into the next subject to this video, and that is the buffs and nerfs of certain heroes. So I'm going to go down the list of the patch notes here. Gideon is not in a good spot right now for me. He is, you've seen on forums and you can go look, but they're gonna rework Gideon, and I think it's necessary because his ultimate and being able to being CC'd is just not good. He falls off super late game, and with the current scaling of the casters, he needs some help. Same for Kallari, guys. Kallari, don't even get me started. Kallari is an oddball, okay? Kallari is good bronze, silver, gold league, even gold. But when you get up into the higher tier league of gameplay, people are going to ward and destroy you as Kallari. And that's not good. They need to help Kallari. They need to fix something with Kallari, due to the fact that when you go invisible, the enemy team can lay wards and they can see you instantly. You're dead. Not only that, but she scales as a fighter. That to me is wrong. She should not be scaling as a fighter. She needs to scale in as assassin. It doesn't make sense to me. Kallari needs help. I used to really like Kallari back in like patch 27, where she had her old ultimate and her old abilities. But where she at now is just not a good spot. I think if you guys go look in the forums right now, she has the lowest player rate in competitive play. I think, I don't know, she's kind of hard to talk about right now due to the fact that her kit is just not good. I'm sorry. I love Paragon, and I love what they're doing with the game and with what direction they're going, but Kallari really needs some help. With that, let's talk about Twin Blast It reduces basic attack damage from 28 to 25, which is good. I think Twin Blast needed to be knocked back a bit, in my opinion. Nitro. They reduce duration from 6, 7, 8, and 9 to 4 seconds at all levels. Reduce cooldown from 20 seconds to 18 seconds, and Rocket Dash. Reduced travel distance. I really think they brought Twin Blast back to where he needed to be. He was honestly out of control. He had like a 62% win rate in non-mirror matches, which was just not right. Like, he needed to be fixed, and I'm glad they did that. So I approve of that, and I'm glad they did that. Rampage, the enraged ability reduced health regen from 100, 175, 250 to 50, 125, and to 200 at max. The reduced duration from 15 to 12 seconds. So I really think that was also necessary. Before patch 29, Twin Blast and Rampage were out of control. And with the new patch, I think they really scaled their abilities back, and they made it to where they're much more in line with the other heroes. Last thing I want to cover in the video, guys, is Chimera and his abilities and scaling. That got a buff. Ambush reduced cooldown from 20, 19, 18, 17, 17, 16 to 15 to 14. Colt got increased damage dramatically from 200, 250, 300 to 320, 450, 580. Without scaling, without scaling, his max damage from his ultimate went up to 580 from 300. That is massive. Chimera is a huge threat, and as I said in the beginning of the video, this is a very fighter meta patch. With the scaling of the new cards and the vulnerability to carries early game now, fighters pretty much run the game right now. Because if you run fighters and deathball or group up or invade their jungle and take out their carries and start to get ahead in card points and levels, it's pretty much a snowball effect. And with no comeback mechanic right now, and no way to really catch up to what the other team has done to you, fighters can pretty much run the game. And that's kind of scary, but also that implements the usage of wards and health pots and survivability early game carries. So yeah, it's just they're a lot more predominant right now compared to what they used to be, which is good and bad. But at the current stage of the game, guys, I'm honestly not the happiest. Match times have been extremely drawn out. Caster scaling still didn't get improved. Just their ability damage. It's a step in the right direction. Inhibitors and death ball mechanic only adds on to the match length that is already atrociously long. And travel mode is still in the game. So I'm hoping that they bring out new patch notes soon, guys. It's going to be coming up soon. Open beta is next week on Tuesday, I believe, the 16th. It's going to be free for everybody, which is kind of scary and really good. It's going to bring a big player pool into the game, but there's still a lot they need to work on. There's still a lot they need to balance, and they know that, and they've addressed that in their patch notes. But this game just has a long way to go, and I'm with it till the end, guys. It's not in a very good spot right now. That's really all I have to say. That's going to conclude the video, guys. Please let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you guys think. These are just my opinions and thoughts on the game. I kind of just rambled for a while. This has been Introvert Gaming, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!